Alright, man, so I've been a Bengals fan for a long time, but when we beat the Ravens, I saw stuff that I never seen in my entire fandom. I went on YouTube the very next day, I typed in Bengals like I always do, and bruh, every single sports show was talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, and it was honestly kind of weird. You know what come after this, right? I want to welcome y'all to the Reflections of a Bengals Fan. November 18th, 2021. That basically means that our bye week is nearly over, and there's no way I should have waited this late into the week to do this video, but here we are. The Bengals are coming off a bye week, and we're currently sitting at 5-4. But here's my problem, bro. The last two games that we played were both losses, and they were two of the worst losses of our entire season. See, back up a couple of weeks, and the Bengals, we was all over the place, man. I mean, we quietly already beat the Steelers on the road, and we put together a couple more victories, had a close game against the Packers, and then we blow out the Ravens. But then, the very next week, we lose to the Jets. At which point, all the hype dies. We followed that up with a blowout loss to the Browns, and that is currently where you find me today. But this video might surprise some of y'all because giving a little bit of distance from those two losses and putting them in perspective, I actually have some pretty pleasant reflections. But other than that, man, let's go ahead and jump into them. You already know what time it is, fellas. Cue the Wayne.
Yeah, I'm no quitter, 'cause I'ma go get her.
All right, before we jump into today's video, quick word from our sponsor, Manscaped. So for me, Christmas came early this year because I was gifted the new performance package from Manscaped. Let's take a look. So Manscaped created the first all-in-one grooming kit that literally has you covered from head to toe. So let's start with the flagship Lawnmower 4.0. You can actually see I was using the new travel lock feature right here. That way it ain't buzzing in my bag, but in order to turn it off, all you gotta do is boom. So like I was saying, waterproof trimmer with skin-safe technology that helps reduce nicks and cuts for just a clean, painless shave. Plus the fan favorite LED light, which is helpful if you want to set a little dark vibe in there, you know what I'm saying, when you're taking your shower. Then next up, you got your weed whacker. All right, this is a trimmer for your nose and ear hairs. It's got the same skin-safe tech as the Lawnmower 4.0, so you good to go. All right, keeping with the head to toe theme, we moving on down. You got your shears. All right, man, right here you got a variety of tools. Basic stuff. You got you some shears, some fingernail clippers, some nail filers, and some tweezers. Come in a cool little, you feel me? Yeah. It makes for a great gift as it comes with all the stuff that you just saw. On top of that, it also comes with some of the stuff your stockings with. Got your ball toner, crop reviver, you know, easy apply stuff for throughout the day. So every man needs to go ahead and add this to their wish list. And to the ladies that watch, hold your man down this Christmas with the performance package from Manscaped. Now Manscaped is also in the holiday spirit, so for a limited time, the perfect Christmas gift comes with two more gifts. You got your shed travel bag. That's what you've been seeing throughout the course of this video. I love these little bags. I always take them with me when I travel. And then you've also got the Manscaped anti-chafe and boxer briefs, which come along with it as well. So again, you're giving a gift that come with even more gifts. What's not to love? If you're interested, go to manscaped.com and use my promo code FlemLo20 to get 20% off your purchase, free international shipping, and the 2 free gifts. Y'all, shout out to Manscaped once again for sponsoring the video. Without further ado, let's get it. Every single sports show was talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, and it was honestly kind of weird. But I'm watching one of my favorite shows, Cowherd. He's talking about us. Stephen A. and them is talking about, like, everybody talking about us. And I'm like, damn, that's pretty cool. I never seen that before. You know, normally when I type in Bengals, I'm gonna find my boys over at New Stripe City, boy James Rapine and Jay Glisco and Locked On Bengals. I'm gonna find an Orange and Black Insiders Bengals podcast. You know, like these are the things that I'm used to, that I was looking for when I clicked that in. Just whoever got the most recent thing. In addition to those, I got like this flood of mainstream media covering the Bengals. That was pretty cool. Now the very next week, all that went away. That was done. It was over with. And you know what? That's really fine, bro. I'm not tripping on that. Like lately, I just been thinking about experiences a lot. Good experiences, bad experiences, and just what you take from that whole situation. So that whole experience was pretty wild, because I'm explaining this to like fan of the Cowboys and the Steelers and all these. When you're a fan of the Bengals or like these small market teams that don't get much respect, you feel like you're not even a part of the league at times, especially when y'all bad. Like last year, you feel like the NFL going on over here and then y'all over here just doing y'all own thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just a weird feeling. You know what I'm saying? You watch the mainstream shows, they never talk about your team. If they do, they report something that happened a month ago, 100 things that happened since then that have completely rectified that situation or made it irrelevant. But they still talking about, like, that's the mainstream media when I'm making sure I'm in focus. That's your mainstream media when you're a fan of a small team. It's very, very annoying. So just to have everybody talking about us for a short period of time, it was a dope experience. Now, we go when we lose to the Jets, and I'm heartbroken. Going into that game, you know, I wasn't very confident. Like, I told my boy that. He was like, you know, we're gonna play the Jets, blah, blah, blah. Like, man, shut up, bro. Like, you ain't looking at the situation. I'm looking at the situation like, okay, wait, Zach Wilson is out. I don't like that. We got tape on Zach Wilson. I know exactly what he gonna do, and he's not gonna have success against my defense. We got some unknown dude that's gonna come in. Mike White comes in, plays a super save. He's checking everything down. He's, you know, and he played well. I ain't trying to take nothing from him. Just the style of play, though. Like, he was dinking and dunking us to death, and we wasn't adjusting. I almost felt like our coaches went into that game not wanting to show anything because we played the Browns the following week. It looked like we made no adjustments defensively. But, you know, shout out to the Jets. They won the game. You know, they did their thing. They got the dub. The following week, we played the Browns. We dropped straight down the field on them boys, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm loving how this is looking, but I got to see us get in the end zone first, because you never pick six. You know what I'm saying? Like, pick six. And then we laid down after that and got drugged. So I can look at those last two games and come on here and overreact. But, you know, I think about the beginning of the season, man. We go back to the preseason, bro. Joe Burrow played 3 snaps. Y'all remember that? He played 3 snaps. He threw 1 pass. It was a screen pass to Jamar, which he dropped. That was Joe Burrow's entire preseason. So for him to come out here and be, what, 7th or 8th in passing yards, he's up there in passing touchdowns as well. We were once leading the AFC North, but right now, you know, we 5-4. We 2-1 in the division. We looking pretty good, you know? And this is a year where there's a whole lot of teams with records that look like. So there's a lot of teams that's getting some variance in their play from week to week. It's not just young teams like the Bengals. There was a point during the preseason where there was an article that came out saying that he was gimpy on his leg and that he was a little shaky in the pocket. And matter of fact, that was one of those stories that the mainstream media got like a couple weeks later. It felt like it might have just been a couple of days, but just a lot happened in a few days. The Bengals was like, so what we gonna do is we're gonna throw bags at his legs when he dropped back the pass. You know, and that's how we're gonna stimulate the pocket, which when the Bengals come up with that, it just sounds like, bro, that ain't gonna work. You know, what you talking about? It worked. It actually worked. Joe is, you know, he's superhuman, low key. He human, but he in the top percentage of just will-powered humans. You know, he can make stuff happen when you focus on it. So he does that, and I expected him to start off slow. I said that in my preseason video, but the way that the coaching staff eased him in, it didn't really look like he was starting off slow. Like, he wasn't throwing for crazy yards, but just right out the gate, it looked pretty good. And then it just kind of got better and better. So he's doing really well. With that said, the turnovers, bro, the turnovers have really, really hurt us. He knows that. I think he's tied for like the most. Like, he got like 10 or 11 picks, you know, and a lot of them are just like tip passes and stuff. That's the majority of them. Like, he'll play the entire game making great decisions, but it'll be like 1 or 2 where you're like, Joe, why did you even do that, bro? You know, young player, man. He'll figure it out. He's only in his, 18, 19 game. Like, he's only a few games more experienced than a rookie. This one's unscripted, so I don't know where it's going, man. I'm going to just stay on Joe Burrow for a second because I want to throw this out there. And these are, I guess these are kind of predictions, but not really, bro. This is just my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I believe Joe Burrow is good enough to win the Bengals a Super Bowl. Yep. I believe that we are going to win a Super Bowl. With that said, the Bengals got to continue to make the right moves, man. We're not a Super Bowl team right now. If they play the cards right over the next couple of years, I think we can make a push. Absolutely, I do. But the front office got to make the right moves. You got to re-sign the right guys, not re-sign the right guy. Make the right trade or don't make that trade. You know what I'm saying? Like, the draft, all the moves that you have to make in the NFL, you obviously not going to get all of them right. If they get more right than they get wrong, I think we got a shot. But I think we have a player who's the perfect age to grow and mature with our coach, to grow and mature with our roster. And when the roster is ready, he'll be ready, and we'll make that push. I think he's probably operating at about 73%, 75% of what I think he will become in this league, you know? So again, reflecting, 5-4, you know, outside looking into the playoffs right now. But dude, if you'd have told me in the preseason that Joe was going to be doing what he's doing, if you'd have told me that Jamar Chase would have 800 yards, he got 800 yards at the bye week. 800 yards is a solid season for a rookie receiver, like in a year. So in a year, bro. Like he got it by the bye week. He's destroying the league, like killing it. I just hope we can keep everybody, man. Keep everybody together. Keep everybody head right. Including Zach Taylor, keeping him. All right, so I just got a call to completely destroy my train of thought. But the Bengals are a young team, and we play like it. We're highly inconsistent. People watch the highlights, and they think, oh, man, y'all offense is so damn explosive. Our offense is explosive. But when you watch the games, what you see is our offense will go quarters sometime, bro. Like, we might go the whole half just not producing, and then we'll decide to play like the last drive of the first half or the first drive of the second half, stuff like that, and then we'll make these big plays, and that is what we have hung our hats on. Problem is, you can't do that every week. You're not going to score a 50-yard touchdown every week, and the weeks that's not coming, we struggle a lot of times. As teams have started to play over the top more and do different things defensively to take certain things away, I find that in these last couple of weeks, we've struggled a bit with that. But your hope is that during the bye week, the coaches and Joe was able to sit down and kind of figure out a new way to attack when defenses do whatever the hell they've been doing over the last couple of weeks. But aside from all that, man, this is literally the most fun time ever for me to be a Bengals fan, bro. Like the last time the Bengals was really good, like I was just working a regular job in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and back then, nobody in the state of Louisiana gave a damn about the Bengals. Obviously, it's different now. The LSU connection, like if I lived in Baton Rouge, now I lived in Baton Rouge for 10 years, nobody gave a damn. Like I wear Bengals, there was no Bengals fans, bro. They ain't exist. But it's actually really dope now to see it spreading. I just kind of wish it would have happened when I was still there. That's all. Now the fact that I'm on YouTube now also plays a big role in it. Let me make sure I'm still recording because I did this once already and your boy wasn't recording. That's a rookie mistake. I rarely make those, but I'm usually doing more scripting instead of just talking. And sometimes when you get to talking, you just get to run your damn mouth and forget to hit record. Now that I'm on YouTube, I'm getting to experience the social media side of it also. Not only was I in Baton Rouge before we had Bengals fans in Baton Rouge, you know what I'm saying, I live in Texas now, I also wasn't on the internet, and before I was doing YouTube, I was never a social media person. So I wasn't on Twitter, I wasn't on IG, I wasn't on none of that. I think I had a Facebook, but you know, that's just for like the family and stuff. But now I follow Bengals fans on Twitter, and I see their reactions and stuff like that, and it's dope because they was always just mad. Like they was always in a bad mood because we was always losing like over the last couple of years and people was getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? It just was always in something negative. To see this year like the switch from that where cats are excited about the team and talking about wins and we going into games expecting a win, that's really, really dope. Bro, this year's Bengals had even started to like erase some of my my programming as a Bengals fan. Like I would normally go into a game expecting to lose, just hoping we don't look too bad and get embarrassed. You feel me? Like that's what I would really be thinking in the back of my mind. I might not say that out loud, but that's how I really felt. Like, please just don't let her go out here and get drugged. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's at least, like, let's hold a good account of ourselves. Because even if we lose at the 10 play hard, I could rock with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, to at least to some extent, it's going to get to the point where I get tired of it, but you know. So earlier, I think I was like mentioning the Super Bowl and stuff in the future, but let me talk about like right now. Right now, we still have some major holes on the team. Now, a lot of Bengals fans don't feel that way. I feel like that, and I want to give the Bengals credit because I believe they raised the level of pretty much every position group F last year. This year, I think, hey, man, we're D plus C minus. Got shot or shade. I don't even mean it like that. Like, that's a big improvement. Like, you can't expect it to go from an F to an A in a semester. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's a gradual process, especially with this. So I'm okay with that, but obviously we got to continue to build because what happens now, there are some positions on our team that are still so like weak or like so on the lower end of the league that there are certain matchups throughout the NFL that can just wreck games, completely wreck games, and we losing them every time primarily because of that matchup. And that's mostly along the O-line. We got some cats who've been really solid, some who haven't been as good this year. So all in all, man, I'm pretty happy with where we are. I'd be happier had we won that Jets game and just not lost as bad. Like, I mean, if we would have won that Browns game, obviously I'd be ecstatic. But it just showed up. We just showed up that game. Like, I wouldn't be pissed. And like, we lost that one. The Browns are a good team. They capable of beating us, but we also capable of beating them. So I don't just expect to go out there and get drugged like that. But despite that, all in all, I stand by it, man. This is the greatest time to be a Bengals fan ever. We suffered a little bit of a setback these past couple of weeks, and I don't know what the rest of this season holds. If I had to guess though, I expect Joe Burrow to be even better than he was in the first half. I expect the turnovers to go down for sure, and I expect us to compete for a playoff berth. Now look, bro, making a playoff this year is not the be-all, end-all. I know some of y'all been going crazy. Hey, we're making a playoff. Listen, bro, we might make the playoffs. If we do, you feel me? But if we don't, you feel me? Like, it's not, this ain't that year. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the year where that is like, we absolutely got to make the playoffs or this year is a bust. Like, this is not that year. I don't care what nobody say. This wasn't that year. If we make the playoff this year, that means we're a year early, which is great. That means we're ahead of schedule. Just having talent and being explosive and having like the capability based on personnel to be a playoff team don't just make you a playoff team. You got to put it all together, and because our quarterback is coming off that big injury, I think it might have pushed that back a little bit, but not in a real significant way. All right, man, I'm gonna stop it right there. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, bro. Y'all stay up out there, man. Stay safe. These were the reflections of a Bengals fan. I'll catch y'all in the next one.